So Rachel, wondering what you thought about, just your bottom. What do you like about it?
I prefer your bottom.
My bottom's roundy. Hey, we watched Terence Crawford win a good fight against Jose Benavidez Jr. First 6 rounds were competitive, and then Crawford's class showed over the last 6 rounds. And of course, he got the stoppage win in round 12. But I don't remember what we were going to talk about.
Well, last night we saw Terence Crawford win a 12-round decision. And what I found interesting with that was that Terence Crawford didn't handle that opponent quickly. So you might remember, Kelsey, as we came into this fight week, we thought that this would be a super easy fight for Crawford. We didn't even know why it was happening.
Yeah, I remember you were so adamant about pre-recording the kind of instant analysis. And that kind of blew up in your face, Rachel. Do you have anything to say to the Real Talk watchers and listeners?
That wasn't my doing, so.
You can't prove that it wasn't.
But yeah, so what I find interesting about that is if I draw a parallel between Crawford last night and watching Golovkin's career, was that we saw Golovkin tear through opponent after opponent, and then all of a sudden he didn't. So when he got to Danny Jacobs was the first guy, but then Canelo we saw after that. All of a sudden it changed. It wasn't just Golovkin easily tearing through somebody, and so I wondered if maybe we saw the same thing with Crawford last night. With a tougher opponent, which I don't know this guy. So what is Crawford going to do against the other top level contenders in his weight class? And so I find that really interesting. So I think it gave us maybe a view into what that might be like, that it might be tougher for Crawford and it wouldn't be so easy. And what would a potential Manny Pacquiao fight, be like?
Yeah, because when I watched him fight against Benavidez, I was wondering, well, I don't know, can he beat Earl Spence? And before, I didn't really have that question. I favored Crawford in that fight because I think Crawford deserves to be number 1 pound for pound. I think he still deserves to be that. But I have more questions now after seeing him struggle a little bit with a guy that I thought he would put away more quickly and efficiently. People probably want to know on a separate note why you and I are on a split screen. And so just to let everybody know, Rachel's in Indonesia right now studying some Indonesian fighting styles that she wants to incorporate into her own game. So Rachel, kind of tell us what brought about that and why Indonesia?
Okay. No, we're testing out a Skype call so that we can have guests on Real Talk with Kelsey and Rachel.
It's so exciting.
We're learning the ins and outs of how to do that, and if we have a good enough internet connection to even do that at all.
Or even if we're capable of using today's technology. I think we are.
Yeah, I know.
Kevin Iole does this all the time. Yahoo Sports, Kevin Iole.
Yeah.
He
uses Skype?
He uses Skype all the time and records interviews for YouTube, and he does a really good job with that. And he's, of course, one of the better, if not the best, boxing writers in the world. But listen.
Well, actually, he doesn't live in a cul-de-sac in Sugar Land that has 2 internet options.
Yeah, and Iole, he's like 1,000 years older than us, but apparently he knows how to use this technology. So that makes me a little sad. I feel when I hear that Kevin Iole is better at Skype than the McCarsons, the story I make up about that is that we're stupid, and about that I feel sad.
That is very good work using feedback format.
Thank you. Feedback format on Terence Crawford. When I see Terence Crawford struggle a little bit with Jose Benavidez Jr., the story I make up about that is that, hey, he's not as good as Floyd Mayweather Jr. And about that, I feel okay. I mean, not everybody can be the best fighter of their generation. Crawford's certainly one of the best fighters in the world today. And nothing that didn't change against Jose Benavidez Jr. And then honestly, as I say that, I think about watching Floyd Mayweather against Henry Brucelis, some other fighters, some other fights in his career where he was clearly the better fighter, clearly won the fight, but didn't dominate in the same way as maybe we thought going into the fight. So anyway, I don't even know if this recording is going to work, so we're gonna see. We gon' see.
Adios.